Picture this. You're not just fixing cars, you're living your passion every day. At Cox, you'll work on a diverse range of automobiles. Surrounded by a team of friendly, like-minded individuals, you'll enjoy great pay and benefits. Ready to make this a reality? At Cox, we're recruiting auto and diesel techs to join our Mannheim and Fleet Services teams. Learn, grow, and fine-tune your career as a technician at Cox. Find out more at cox.careers/autotech.
Deep in the heart of a sparsely populated Norwegian valley, a luminous mystery dances in the night sky. A series of unexplained and enigmatic light phenomena that have captivated scientists, skeptics, and skywatchers alike. These mysterious illuminations, ranging from bright white beams to deep pulsating reds, have been observed sporadically for decades, painting the Nordic skies with their inexplicable glow. What makes these lights an enduring enigma is not just their unpredictable appearances, but the variety of shapes and behaviors they exhibit. From hovering orbs that float with eerie intent to rapid flashes darting across the horizon, these lights defy conventional explanations and challenge our understanding of the natural world. Are they a product of a unique geological condition, a window into unknown atmospheric processes, or evidence of something far more profound? This case file joined the theorists as they venture into the Valley of Mystery, meticulously mapping the mystical while exploring the enigmatic energies of the Hessdalen Lights.
Welcome to Alien Theorists Theorizing Case File 307, Hessdalen Lights. I'm Braden.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Andrew.
Woo! This one was recorded a little late because Zell had to break a pipe in his house in order to get out of recording.
It was the main blood pipe, right? They were starving.
Yeah, the main blood. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Van Helsing
so
stopped
that
by
burst
and fucking fucked him over.
Yeah, that's what it was. Van Helsing showed up and they had a big old battle in his basement. And arrow pierced through the drywall, through the water main, wrecked his brand new suite he just finished. Guy's been miserable for months trying to get that
done. So that's what
he hasn't wrapped up. He hasn't wrapped up for a month, and it's fucking flooded. That sucks.
Just what you need when you get a
yourself,
brand new
it's
baby.
Funny. Oh yeah.
That's what you need.
Yeah, insurance claim.
Yep.
I wanted to start this one because not a lot of times do we get to open a case file up with a piece of history.
Fucking that. 32 years coming, baby.
Right?
So,
yeah. Those of you who, caught the live know that Andrew made a last minute trip to go catch the Detroit Lions. What is it? Football match? Their first playoff game. Andrew, before we get going on the Hessdalen Lights, give us a little story of how it went, how it was there. Because I saw videos, you tears in your eyes. We haven't even got a chance to talk about it.
Start crying.
I'm
again.
excited to hear.
I'm just fucking. It's fucking.
I'll do a slow pan into your face. So if you do start tearing up, look right in the camera, and I'll play some sad music.
So as of Sunday, not last Sunday, but the Sunday before, when they decided, okay, the Lions are playing the LA Rams, I got a frantic call from my brother, basically being like, "Are we going?" And I'm like, "No, how the fuck? I can't afford. What are you talking about? Are we going? Right? So anyways, we went. It's so we made that, made the decision within half an hour. My wife wasn't even home. She came home. I'd be like, yeah, so I guess I'm going to Detroit in a week. So yeah. So it was a whirlwind trip. Only went for a day and a half. I mean, luckily, well, it's Detroit. There's not a lot of sights to see, so it was okay, right? It's like a really big Edmonton, is what I noticed. But beautiful place, cool people. Trip was rad. Like, as soon as I got off the plane, I ended up seeing Kerryon Johnson, like a ex-Detroit Lions running back who was in town for the game. Sat bullshitted with him, had a good time. Almost got murdered really quick. Had a guy walk, hey buddy, what the fuck you want? Where do you want to go? Don't worry about Uber. I'll give you a ride. We stop at the gas station. You grab cash for me. I take you where you want to go. And then this old man like whispers to me and he's like, don't fucking go with that guy. Do not go with that guy. Cause I was like, yeah, man, sure. Like, that sounds good. Right? Like, no problem. And he's like, no, dude. So this old man lets me hop in the Uber with him, which was cool. We split it. Awesome. Get to our hotel. Fucking freezing. Like, the wind cuts through every single article of clothing you wear. Crazy. Woke up the next day, literally got straight after the liquor. Get ready for the game. It was a night game, so we thought we'd start the day off good. We went to this cool place called the Tin Roof. I don't know, the Detroit natives that listen to this.
I also thought there was, when I was watching your Snap stories with cum gutters, at a time I was like, wait a minute, what time is it there? Did they already see the game and they're at a nightclub?
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Then I realized it was like, I was like, oh, it's got to be 2:00 there.
Oh yeah, dude. We started bright and early, 2:00. And this place, like the entire city's a ghost town because it's freezing inside. And then you get into this bar and it's 4 levels of a different party on each floor. Like, it was fucking mad. Like, the Detroit people know how to party. Like, it was insane. Everybody's on tables, chanting, losing their minds. So we're sitting at our table and there's just a group of guys that are beside us. They lose their table. The staff walk up and they're like, yeah, give us your table. Grab it, go through. You could see them kind of like doing this. And we're like, well, why don't you guys just come sit with us? Like, we got space, having a great time. Start bullshitting with them. And they're like, so like, where are you guys from? We're like, oh, we're from Western Canada. Like, you probably have no idea, right? And they're like, where? I'm like, oh, Kelowna. They're like, oh, no shit, we're from Calgary. I'm like, oh, no way. Yeah. Fucking guy went to high school with my wife. Like, they know each other. They're friends. Like, super small world. Anyways, great time. Go to the game, end up meeting one of my, Amon-Ra St. Brown. His brother was there. He plays for the Bears. Got to hang out with him for a little bit. Bullshit with him. That was really cool. The crowd, dude. Never ever seen anything like that before. First of all, every game I've ever been to, there's like 4 Detroit Lions fans there. And then all of a sudden I'm at Mecca with all my people. Like, everybody's in a good time.
The Holy Land.
Everywhere. Buddy's wearing Honolulu blue. Like, it was just the best atmosphere ever. You're seeing Walter White.
Oh, buddy, my eyes would have been popping there. Yeah, Walter White's a fucking Rams fan.
So we booed him. Matthew Stafford came on. We booed the fuck out of him. His wife was not having a great time. And it's like, what do you expect? Like, fuck you. Right? Like, what are you thinking? It was pretty cool, man. It was just like, it was such a good story, right? Like, so a lot of people don't know, whatever, you don't give a shit about football, but just the fact that, okay, so the
Sports Conspirators, episode 4, The Curse of Bobby Leonard.
Yeah, like basically this team has not had a home playoff game or won one in 32 years, right? Our quarterback used to play for this team. This team traded him away after he lost the Super Bowl for them because he wasn't good enough. They traded him for our quarterback at the time, Matthew Stafford. He goes to this team, and the first thing he does when he goes to that team and wins a Super Bowl. Okay. And we've got their disregarded fucking trash quarterback that just supposed to, go to Detroit and rot and die. Stafford comes out on the field and the entire crowd starts chanting Jared Goff. And you could see it. Like, they're chanting our new quarterback's name, and it fired him up. It was fucking nuts, man. It broke an indoor sound record. It hit, 133.6 decibels, which is equivalent to a jet engine indoors.
Yeah, should have double ear protection for that, for sure.
Literally the crowd caused 2 timeouts in the game. And then at the end of the game, it basically cost them the game because Detroit gets a first down and just basically wins the game because they kneel it out. And like, it was awesome because I don't know if you've ever been, like, you're not listening to live commentary, right? So Amon-Ra St. Brown gets the first down and everybody's sitting there and there's only a minute left and we're up by 1. And you could see like the entire crowd collectively, because the coach starts fucking celebrating. The entire crowd, everybody's still shitting bricks because we're only up by 1 point. It's 24-23. Everybody's shitting their pants. And and Monroe St. Brown gets this fucking first down, and it like takes the entire crowd collectively like a good like 30 seconds to a minute to be like, oh, did we just fucking win? Like, did we just fucking win the game? And then just,
you guys are so used to disappointment.
like, well, because you just like it's with the crowd, the commentators are going to be like, oh yeah, and they can kneel out and win the game now, and like everybody's sitting there like doing the math, like counting out, like, okay, we kneel fucking 3 times or 4 times. That's fucking 40 seconds. 40. Holy fuck, we won the game! But just everybody starts losing their mind. Like it was, oh man, it was like I felt so sick to my stomach the whole time because I'm like, fucking. We're only up by 1. I don't know. Surreal experience. It's hard to put into words. It was amazing, man. Fucking bawled like a little baby.
That's cool.
It was 2011 all over again. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's cool. I was jealous. It looked like a lot of fun. So basically, your quarterback now is Shane Falco.
Basically, he was the replacement. Yeah. And we won.
Shane Falco is coming in. Got Gene Hackman as a coach.
Wow, fuck it. We got MCDC, baby.
I like how now you're drinking out of a Lion's Cup now too.
Oh, I got it all, buddy. I got my fucking. I got that. I got my third down signs. I got fucking everything.
Did you steal those?
Of course I did. As soon as the game was over, I started pillaging.
You're like anything. You're like, this is Detroit, baby.
It's not nailed down. I'm getting it.
You think I paid for this cup? Somebody left it. I got a popcorn bucket too. Fucking cleaned her up, took her home.
Just lucky RoboCop wasn't there.
You're sorting through trash.
Fucking right, I was. Of course.
You and Dom are just pulling the whole bags out like
buddy,
Santa.
You think
Detroit Santa?
You think Dominic didn't buy every single fucking thing of merchandise they had to offer? Him and Cumgutter spent over $1,000 in the store. I was sitting out back cleaning cups and shaking them for money to try and fucking buy my way home. Fuck.
You done with that popcorn? Oh shit, that's funny.
That was amazing.
It looked like a good time. Anyways, it's not too often we get to fucking talk about a fun experience like that at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, boys.
But that's cool. I'm glad you got to be there for that. Now on to the task.
All right, thanks guys. Thanks for having me. That's it for me.
Yeah. That's Andrew's contributions for the night.
Andrew's like, I gotta go sign my divorce papers.
Yeah, no shit. Oh man.
Yeah. Don't worry, you got to be separated for at least a year first. You got lots of time.
I got time to make
smooth
up for
things
it.
over.
I bought her a t-shirt.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah, I did.
You mean you found her a t-shirt?
Yeah, no, that's the one thing I bought. I got my kid a cool shirt. Got her a cool shirt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. The t-shirt after a trip that you weren't really you shouldn't have really been on that's the key. Like God, that's like when we went to Austin. I was like, look at this cool Austin t-shirt I bought you.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's cool.
And I started wearing my ring after 2 years too. That's the other thing. I'm just making small sacrifices here.
Yeah. It's funny because I've never seen you wear it.
I'm serious.
I'm in trouble. I had to fucking put this bad boy back on. Just remember, man, we're in this together.
Yeah, right. Love you. I always wear this thing. What are you talking about?
Sacrifices.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's good. All right, Hessdalen Lights. This is a fucking insane. This shit happens. By the way, first off, sometimes we talk about accounts and stories that it's like, we're believing people or we're having to take people's words for it. Like this shit,
we see it
happens.
Yeah, we got evidence.
We see it. It's evidence.
Synced it.
It's on video. You can fucking hashtag look this up. There's pictures. There's evidence. There's wild shit going on. And the one thing I love about this is there's no real scientific census.
Yep.
What the fuck is going on in Norway?
Still unsolved.
Yeah. Hessdalen Lights unsolved. Yeah. I wish I had a board. I wish I had a board that I could lick and just slap a stick it note to it. Like Hessdalen Lights unsolved, my unsolved.
Well,
board.
you should have unsolved and solved and just fucking put up a tally and little stick each one.
I bet I could do that because now that I got the fucking casting couch back here, I'm getting all my cameras reset up. So maybe I'll make a little board that I can slap that I can I'll switch cameras to a little quick pan.
Boom.
Over to the old.
With this casting coach, I'm assuming like you play both roles, eh? It's gotta be pretty exhausting.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Just puts a wig on, like takes a wig off. Like
I seen him in a wig not that long ago. Dude, that's what that's for. Oh, Jesus.
Fuck, that's true.
I think between
Already
some of our
edited.
special episodes, you have quite a collection of wigs.
Hey, listen, all great actors have played fucking multi roles in movies.
It's fair.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Tom Hardy played twins.
Eddie
You wouldn't
Murphy?
even know.
Yeah.
All right. I play both love interests.
Oh, casting couches. Love interest.
In my casting couch chronicles. So, what are you looking to break into Hollywood?
Oh, that's perfect.
Oh, okay. Let's get into the Hessdalen Lights here.
Yeah, Hessdalen
talking
Lights has
about
actually been thrown at us a couple times. Like a couple of listeners have always kind of suggested it in our Discord, for us to cover. Because it is a legitimately unsolved mystery, and is something that has been going on in that area for decades, if not maybe almost a century at this point. Some of the earliest recorded sightings of what they officially called like the Hessdalen Lights date back to like the 1930s, 1940s. And it's essentially the Hessdalen Lights kind of covers all of the kind of phenomena that occur there, which is like they vary widely. So you have all of these different types of just.
Whoa. What the fuck was that?
That was terrifying.
Did you have a fucking. That was what the hell was that?
Some red rum.
Did that?
Red
You
rum.
heard that too?
Oh, yeah.
You heard that
I
too?
think I bumped my cable. I bumped my microphone cable.
Oh, okay.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
It sounded like you had a frog with you that like fucking riveted at the same time you were talking. I was like, what the hell's this? The one thing about this case is like, because it says too that it's been like, they're like, oh, the 30s and 40s. But a thing that I was kind of playing with in my head that is like, some of the villages in this area of Norway, it's like 100 people. Like these are isolated communities that see this shit. So part of me has always wondered, like, has it really been going on this long? Or did they finally get a fucking video, like a visitor come in who was like, what the fuck is that going on there? They're like, the fucking lights?
That's normal.
The night, our old Hessdalen night lights? They're like, yeah, no, that's not normal.
Whoa, hold on.
And
Keep going with this accent. I want to hear it. Because I could fucking that accent is a motherfucker. We wanted to do a skit. I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Not
dude.
that I can do a lot of accents, but I can't even remotely get close to that.
No, I thought your German accent was the closest to Norwegian.
I don't know. It's like, look it over there.
Look at the light
Like, I
over
don't
the sky there. And I was like, I start to get into some other. I start to lean heavily on some other.
Starts going Indian real
accent.
quick.
Yeah. Native American.
Oh,
please,
yeah.
come on. Or hold on, which did you mean? I didn't know.
That's what I meant.
You mean Indian accent?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry.
No, I mean Indian, like India.
Yeah.
India.
The
Okay.
subcontinent. Yeah, right.
My mistake.
So I don't think that that is as inaccurate as you might think, because it's like the stuff that's been going on in Hessdalen, Norway is like it's a very tiny village that where these lights have been seen, and it's like for a long time they were just kind of like written off as just something that happens. Like nobody was really like interested in like what kind of made them happen. They just kind of were accepted as like a natural phenomenon that occurred occasionally. Like people would catch sight of them.
When it's winter up in the mountains for that long, the last thing on your mind is like, what's going on with the fucking lights? You're like, how am I going to live? Can I make it through another fucking minus 30 day? You don't give a fuck about lights in the sky.
Well, but not only
You
that
don't.
though, like you were talking about earlier, it's like you just get acclimatized to it. Like you've seen it. Let's say something you've seen your entire life. You're just like, wow, it's lights again. Like big deal.
Dude, that's a perfect example, because when I lived up north and it was like minus 40, I'd be like, oh, the fucking Northern Lights are tiny. People are like, I don't give a fucking minus 40. I'm not going to see that. And I'd be sitting there like, looking at these things. This is amazing. I can't believe it. People are missing this. And then like 2 months later, I'm like, Northern Lights, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, fuck them.
Fuck those lights.
The Hessdalen Lights didn't really get into the public eye until kind of like the mid 80s. Like before this, like there was like a huge surge in the 80s of interest into the Hessdalen Lights. But before that, like the sightings were more sporadic. Like they weren't like something that happened like every week or like on a set time or really like that. But during the 80s, there seemed to be just like an explosion of sightings of these things where people
Do we
took a
think
lot
that's
more
maybe
interest into them.
due to like more ability to be able to share, like easier to share, more access to like telephones, multimedia, that type of stuff?
See, what I was thinking is I just thought they were getting reported more because of maybe the increase in tourism in the area.
Maybe.
So now new people are seeing them, more eyes are getting on them, and more people are being like, holy shit, have you, like, I saw these lights up there. So they're getting reported at an increased number, which then starts to garner attention in itself, right? People are like, oh, the fucking weird light. Oh, wow, I want to see these fucking weird lights in Hessdalen.
Everybody who was anybody was going to Norway in the 80s. Everybody in those fucking places.
Yeah.
We got,
was
it ABBA? Is ABBA?
Yeah.
No, ABBA's Swedish, isn't it? Or are they from Norway?
I don't know.
I mean, Dan posted us Dan sent us like a fucking little documentary. It's called The Mystery of Norway's Hessdalen Lights Phenomenon, UFO Trick of the Light. And I mean, you just have to listen to one of those women talk to know why people were flocking to Norway, because that Norwegian accent, my God. I mean, 6 to midnight instantly when one of those. I don't even like French is the language of love. I don't think so. It's whatever the fuck they're speaking in Norway.
You know what's interesting though? But listen, but whenever they talk, whenever like just like last week with the Theobans or whatever, like whenever they get into those big, sexy, fucking blonde ass female lady aliens, they always talk like they look like they're Norwegian, right? Like the Nords.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
it's always the Nordic and the Nordic.
I mean,
the Nordics, yeah.
I don't want to be rude to Norwegians, but like when I picture like the beautiful aliens, for some reason I think Swedish, and then when I think Norwegian, I think that chick that plays dodgeball from on the Cobras.
That's
Lady in Red.
Yeah.
I don't know why. That's what my brain goes to. I don't know what she is. Right, but that's sorry. Norway.
We apologize. But please send us proof that they don't look like that. We wouldn't mind. You can send us photos. So, like I said, it's really like the events in 1981 that kind of kick off the entire like Hessdalen phenomenon, like worldwide, where it becomes, it turns more from a local curiosity into like international interest is what happens.
They start to realize that this shit is happening. This is like what is happening here is unique to Earth. like this is not cool, there's a phenomenon that we're fucking seeing. They're like, this is a unique thing that is happening here that doesn't happen anywhere else. And I mean, there's other light places like what of the fucking Australia, the Nimnims. What are they?
Min lights. Got the Marfa lights in Texas, right? They get the Brown Mountain lights.
Brown Mountain, I remember.
Those ones,
Yeah. But like those ones in comparison are they're like, not as well documented. And like these ones are fucking phenomenal. Like, the evidence they have and like video footage of them, you're just like, holy shit, this is insane.
So on the 1st of December that year, 1981, there were several sightings like reported in like quick succession of this bullet shaped object, as well as some type of sphere, and several other kind of strangely shaped lights that appeared around this valley of Hessdalen. Now, Hessdalen refers not only to the village, but actually like the area. It's pretty much like a 15-kilometer long valley that actually surrounds that village. And like Braden said, this is a very sparsely populated area. Like it's like 100 people like back then. Still today, it's not that many. A couple hundred like now.
So Dan, now you say like, so there's a craft separate from the lights. Like this.
Well, it's just like, there was there were shapes like the lights themselves, from that point and on, like they vary widely in shape and size and movement and things like that. So, so some people reported that what could have possibly been a craft, and then others reported like these other types of lights.
And I think people report it as being a craft because some people will catch it. It's been documented, it's been photographed for many years. People set up a tripod and take long exposure trying to catch a glimpse of the lights. And much like, when you get the people that, do the long exposure and they'll do like the flashlight art where they move the light source to like, write words or a sparkler or whatever to write words. I think we've all seen stuff like that. they'll catch a long exposure of what seemingly an object moving at a sporadic like lines across, like, and they'll capture this. So you can see bright dots where it sits still for a second, and then trails where it kind of moves in this sporadic, movement, where people are like, well, that looks,
just move around.
Yeah, they're like, it's fucking insane. Like that's like something is moving there. So that's why people always kind of look at it like, is this a craft? Is there something in the sky that's doing that movement?
And so, like we said before, these lights in, kind of historically had always kind of been viewed by the populace, like the small populace of Hessdalen, as just something like that happened. And they're not really sure why they happened, but they just know that they did. So it was just kind of something that they came to live with. But again, like, so you had December 1st of 1981. And then like 6 weeks later, on the 18th of January, 1982, there was another sighting of another strange light, and people were saying that this one moved almost with some type of intelligence, that it kind of like would tilt slightly up and then down along its course and then move like kind of the movements that Braden's describing, that something that it's not supposed to move like that. When you look at it, you're like, that's not something. I
found the image really quick here. Like you see like where you can see the dots here on the if you're watching the live stream, you can see the dots where it sits still and it gets a little brighter, and then you can clearly see a line where it's tracking movement on a long exposure.
It's weird.
Right?
It's like, it just looks completely random. It doesn't look purposeful. Like it looks like it's just like almost like a bug buzzing around, right? Like
erratic.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now you had these lights seemingly to start appearing like with almost regularity. Like you had these things appearing almost, it had gone from like, you wouldn't see these lights for maybe years, like, weeks, maybe years, like you wouldn't, or months, whatever, like you wouldn't see them. Now people were like observing these lights and looking for them. And you had sightings that would sometimes be reported like several times a week of this strange phenomenon that was occurring like above in the skies of Hessdalen. Now, witnesses included not just the locals themselves, but now also the tourists and people who are passing through Hessdalen, which also kind of like people say kind of lended credibility to this, because it's not like you just had the locals kind of being like, hey, like, is this just some kind of there are times like you
can't look up Hessdalen Valley and like find out like fucking monuments to the lights. It's still to this day like not a tourist attraction. Like it's not a lot of people are going there for this. People are going there for this, but it's not like you're going to fucking the Mothman Festival and they're rubbing the silver Mothman ass.
They're not monetizing it like fucking Charlie Red Star.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. They don't have a mayor out there making a fucking landing pad, Alien Cafe. They're just the locals. Like from everything I've looked at, the locals are like, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, we don't bug it. It doesn't bug us. We're good.
Yeah, like they're just like, yeah, the lights happen all the time. Like it's like they're just so used to it. It's not even. It's like it doesn't even faze them at all.
So you had these surge of sightings that occur, and then this actually catches the attention of the Norwegian media itself, and so reports start to emerge in local newspapers, and eventually makes it out to even the national media outlets that start spreading the story of Hessdalen and the phenomenon that is occurring there. So it gets out from Norway out into everywhere, and then it's like after that, it's like there's like a very like quick series of events that kind of follow. Like there's like a very just like set timeline of interesting things that happen between then. So like the 80s, like 82 to 85 is like when stuff like really kicks off and like really starts going. So January of 82, you have at least one person, Mrs. Root Mary, who actually contacts the Norwegian Institute of Scientific Research and Enlightenment, or the NVFO, and to actually,
hold on. Wait a second here. Did I just hear that right? The Institute of Scientific Research
and Enlightenment.
Nice.
Yeah.
So just like
we do a little bit of research, but we also practice with crystals. You know, I mean, sell you some incense.
You could use it in the traditional sense, I suppose. So you'd be like just enlightenment, that you're learning things and like you're.
Yeah, it's just it's just an interesting. I don't think you would see that name on a scientific research institution today.
I guess enlightenment's kind of taken on another connotation now. That's what.
Is Dr. Greer here?
So this is when she actually contacted the Norwegian Institute. They say the acronym is like NVFO. That's what they use, the Norwegian name for it. That's a good one. And so they actually come and kind of like take an actual interest in this and has sent people down there to kind of take a look at it. So in February of 1982, you have the Norwegian Broadcasting Company sends out an actual team to go and cover and report on the phenomena. And so they end up printing out this very large article in the newspaper, Adresavisen. I'm trying to say it. I'm probably saying it wrong. Adresavisen.
It's pretty good. I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, Adresavisen.
Adresavisen.
That's probably how it is. Adresavisen. So you got to really like even how they talk. It's like all up and down. So.
Adresavisen.
So Adresavisen.
Yeah.
Say it, Dan. Dan, say it correct.
Let's go.
Adresavisen.
No, God.
Adresavisen. I think it's Adresavisen because I watched a YouTube video by a guy from like 5 years ago who had like 5 views on that video.
Dan, it's a real tonal language.
Yeah.
Adresavisen. That's all we need to hear you say.
I think that's silent. I think it's Adresavisen.
Adresavisen. There we go, Dan.
So now,
Dan,
just try it, buddy. Just try it.
You say it. Just let's hear it.
Just try.
No, in the tonal language.
Adresavisen.
You're so monotone. Yeah, I don't understand how you can speak any other language. Right? You're just too based. Like anyone, we're gonna get so many one-star reviews from Norwegians. Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Oh, that cowboy Dan over there, all American accent, hacking everything."
So the Hessdalen Lights making it into Adresavisen was actually like a huge thing because the Adresavisen is actually a newspaper that's been in circulation since 1767 and is one of the oldest newspapers in Norway. So it kind of carried a lot of weight that the Lights actually made it into that newspaper.
But fucking, how long's the Sun been in print?
The Sun, like since the 80s, probably.
Right? Okay, I guess not that long. What about Weekly World News? How long has that been? That's got to be from like 1600.
They would probably say that 1600s. There's probably a picture of it being dug up with Noah's Ark or something. Like,
the first edition of Weekly World News. Found in the cave where Christ rose. The Japanese Christ. I'm not talking about the Jesus Christ.
Right. Japanese one. The cool one.
That was confusing.
Jesus Christ.
Now the article that was actually would appear in Adresavisen was penned by one Arnwist. And he would state, like, his whole thing is like he went down there and he witnessed the lights for himself, and he would go on and state that what they saw looked like a star came towards them, that they stood near what is didn't describe the color there, but it was like you had this standing on this what is I guess one of the mountains in the area, the Rehovde mountain, and he's saying that it moved with tremendous speed, and as it came closer, it would just grow in size and intensity, and then it just stopped like in midair, and then it would just kind of like it just stopped, and then it just sank kind of more slowly towards the ground until it disappeared. So like after
this has got to be absolutely shocking to see live, because just
what's weird, it's like a fallen star that's like moving towards you and then slowly just drops
and then just like it stops. And you're seeing this thing like you're like, this thing is coming towards us, and now it is stopped. Like you would have to think, if you listen to that account, that I imagine you standing there outside in the freezing cold, you're waiting for this thing, you would have the impression, I feel like I would have the impression at least, that you would be like, this is some sort of craft. Like this is a moving craft.
Yeah, or something
Like,
intelligently piloted at this point.
Yeah.
Something that's
like,
intelligently directed.
And stopping and falling, because I'm like, because even seeing the Northern Lights, and I'm not talking about you when you catch a little bit of the green, but when you really catch, if you've ever been up north and the first time you ever see like real Northern Lights where they're all sorts of colors and the sky's cracking, you get like a snapping. It's the fucking most insane experience the first time. Like absolutely just awing. You're like, this is magic. like this is I don't know what's going on. It's magic. And you gotta imagine that seeing a light source like this that is never seen. You're like, what the fuck is this? You're like, this is the most insane thing I've ever seen. And you got to think that these people are probably a little bit like apprehensive to go, because it's not like it's like they're seeing YouTube videos ahead of time. They're just hearing accounts. And they're like, we'll go out there and check it. Oh, we got a fluff piece for you. Go out there and you're going to film these lights, right? And we're going to do a 5 minute. And you go and all of a sudden you're just like, holy shit, these people aren't fucking lying. There's fucking, what the fuck are these moving lights?
Well, we've kind of speculated, in the past, that like basically the government's always been how many years ahead of where we think they are technology wise, right? And because when you look at the way the patterns, how they're described and how they're moving it, like it looks like a drone.
Yes.
Right? Like it looks like a fucking drone pattern.
Erratic, like up, down, over, left, right. Yeah. It's that's an interesting point. But you would think that if the government was like, the media is now caught film, you'd be like, we should move somewhere else. But no, they were just like, we'll stay.
They're practicing for their fucking Eurovision fucking contest, right? This is good. Their pyrotechnics and drones.
Hold on, just before we get to the next point, we should definitely plug in a beer break here for Zell. So we'll get back to more Hessdalen Lights right after the break. Anyone need to pee or anything before we continue?
Mm-hmm. I could probably fire. I can wait.
Go for a quick pee.
I'm good.
Go for a quick pee.
I'm good. Oh.
We're back. We're talking Hessdalen Lights. We just talking about the Norwegian broadcasting company going and filming the lights. Where were we at?
It's our buddy Arnie Wist goes ahead and he witnessed the light for the first time. All right, probably like this is early February. So February 18th, he actually manages to catch photographic evidence with like when he witnesses this event again, and then with around 30 other witnesses all at their location, and then they all see this event. So he's got all of these things. Now you will see like the Hessdalen Lights when people talk about this and they print like articles about the phenomenon. They'll say that the Hessdalen is probably one of the most studied phenomenon or well-documented phenomenon in kind of like the UFO lore, in the UFO category of like what's going on, which is kind of like when you go through down the line as we get more into this, like it's probably true at this point. So in March of 1982, after the publication of these articles and these photos of these lights, like planes from the actual Air Force training school at Trondheim Airport are actually sent to investigate the phenomenon. Like they had Air Force observers would go and record an actual sighting of not exactly the lights, but while they were up there, they had like 30 meteors and what they said were satellites during their 2-day study. So they actually flew out there for like 2 days, specifically looking for the lights, in which they said they didn't see, but they saw a bunch of other stuff that they. I
like the idea because like everyone knows, if anything, when you think Norway, you think Air Force. Like they're just leading the charge on their fucking aerospace.
Planes are made
they
of
control
wood.
That's what I figure too. I feel like the planes they used in 1982 was the fucking Wright brothers planes. You had a guy like squinting in the cold, like getting cold air, like I don't see nothing. Like it's so cold. Because I was like, what kind of fucking planes does Norway have, really? And I mean, I could look that up and I could dig deeper into that to find out. But I like the idea that they had a single prop plane with the guy made fully of wood that they went out to check these lights out. And that's where I'm going to remain. My beliefs are going to stay.
Okay. I'm dug in. And it's like, and I'll never
I don't care what
change.
information you give to me. I will never change.
So now it doesn't really, I guess.
I typed in Norwegian Air Force and a picture of Snoopy on his doghouse came up.
Okay.
Oh, the Red Baron.
So, I mean,
It's the Red Baron.
pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Pretty accurate, right? Just saying.
So you have the events and the phenomenon that surround the Hessdalen Lights become popularized, and then like kind of from March and then into April. So of course this thing is on everybody's mind. So in April 1st, you have an April Fool's Day article appears, which doesn't really help the dialogue, but it does also kind of like whatever. So a local newspaper actually wrote, spacecraft from strange planet in Hessdalen, right? And then they published a couple of photos of what they kind of said were a human-like outline and a ball-shaped UFO that they probably pulled from somewhere, or kind of just constructed themselves. But it's like it's something that was already like the idea that these things are extraterrestrials already in the mind. Like 80s UFO phenomena is already taken root and in Western culture, and it's just become part of this.
Sorry to interrupt, boys. It's very important that Norway got its first F-16 in 1979.
Oh shit!
So they had F-16.
There you go.
Yeah, but did they know how to fly it?
Absolutely.
I mean, yes. They are like the bulwark against the Soviet Union. I mean, I suppose like they're up there.
Yeah, no, they did missions in
April Fools-
Afghanistan. Like they're
pilots.
Yeah,
Flyers.
I have no proof of that.
I haven't seen it. Were you there?
I have. Were you there, Andrew? Because I wasn't there.
Looking at pictures of them right now.
The April Fool's article, to me though, is like I think we tend to always forget. Like in this time, it's not like there was not the same level of sharing of documents, of pictures. Like you couldn't, like if someone had a picture, it's not necessarily like word would spread faster than that kind of information. So part of me thinks that like, there was articles written about, reports of these lights, reports of this, but like not knowing that there was already like photographic evidence of this stuff that had taken place that had piqued the military's interest.
Buddy, it's disinformation, but they fucking planted that story 100%. They saw it. They found out. They found out that there's fucking old Nazis hanging out in Norway, hiding, practicing with their fucking
last
tech.
Place they'd want to hide.
fucking, they're just up on the mountaintops, fucking ringing the glocke, causing the lights.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Hitler's up there with the fucking sledgehammer, just fucking ringing the bell.
He's not in the Andes. He's in fucking Norway. He didn't get that far.
Yeah. Going to fucking where did they all go? Argentina?
Yeah.
I don't think so. That's where they want you to think. They really went to the fucking.
Everybody knows they couldn't get far in the fucking cold, right? The snow.
They went to the Hessdalen Valley, where the beer flows like wine and the women flock like the salmon of Capistrano.
Hell yeah, buddy.
So now, like the phenomenon becomes such like a concern to actual citizens that they actually, in November of 1982, there's like a citizens action is like instituted or taken. And then these UFOs are just like reported to the police, but the police won't take action until, because they don't believe the UFOs have committed any crime.
So one of the interesting things that I learned when reading this is that I kind of picked up that there was kind of two factions at this time. One faction was, this is make believe, and people are, I'm not saying I never read mass hysteria, but it was kind of like leading that with like, oh, this is all fucking make believe. And then there was another faction that was like, I seen it, and I reported it.
And I feel like the cops, the police, like kind of fielding these phone calls are just kind of like, what do you want us to do? It's like they said, like, we can't do it. Number one, we can't do anything officially. These UFOs have committed no crime. So it's like, it's like, but also like, what are we supposed to do about it? I feel like for a Norwegian police officer being like, what do you out of my jurisdiction? Like, I don't know. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Space Force won't be created for another 40 years. I don't know what you fucking want us to
We
do.
don't have space law for a while, you know. It's like we can't go up there. But, you know, Norwegian policemen, I feel like just being exceedingly polite and being like, you know, can you please come down here? Like, can you come down here?
There's 100 people. What else you got to do?
So there's probably like 3 cops.
Yeah.
2-3 cops.
Yeah,
maybe.
that's also that. It's like, there's like, you know, the entire Hessdalen police force is out on there, and it's like 2 of them. Like, hey,
at one time. There's one guy out there.
Yeah, one guy. Other guys back at the station.
I can see him too. Okay, well, back to the station. Pretty cool.
It's like, so in December,
he goes back in. He's like, Chief, I seen him. He's like, badge, your badge and gun now. That's the fuck they talk. Right? Because this is you can just report UFOs without fucking fear of repercussion at this time. Right? So even the cops. You can't just go and be like, I seen it.
But it's also, I feel like everybody knows everybody. There's only like 100 people in that place. So I feel like everybody's kind of be like, they'd be like, okay, like we'll write it down. I don't know what we're supposed to do about this, really.
Or the cops have seen it so much they're like, we fucking know. we live here too. They have it every night. What do you want us to do?
Like, we don't have we don't have any jets. We don't have helicopters. Like, what do you want us to do about it?
You're like, fucking listen, no one wants to come here anyways. This tourist trap's never going to take off.
Like in December of 1982, it becomes such a huge thing that you have an actual clairvoyant, Mrs. Anna Elizabeth Westerlund from Oslo, she gives this foretelling that something would happen in Hessdalen on this day, December 28th. And then nothing happened. Except for 1,000 people waiting for the event and just got a little bit cold. That's pretty much it.
They got 1,000 people. They got 1,000 people. Yeah. What's the population of that place?
100.
Like 100, couple hundred.
Tenfold the fucking population. That's impressive.
That's a good turnout for tourists. Like that's a good thing. Like that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, no.
Did anyone else, when they heard the name Miss Anna Elizabeth Westerlund, imagine that she has like a Louisiana like person that like declares her entrance? She's here comes Miss, now introducing Miss Anna Elizabeth Westerlund, clairvoyant. Yeah. That's how I picture it. And then they're just all standing up there.
Now, did she come in from Louisiana, you think? Did they like fly her in special? You got 1,000 people there. Everybody buys a ticket.
Yeah.
Probably get afford her.
Yeah. Well, listen, if you're listening to this podcast and you don't know who the fuck Miss Anna Elizabeth Westerlund is, it's time to do some soul searching.
Yeah, fucking look how you look yourself in the mirror.
Yeah. I'm just like, you should be disgusted with yourself. If you don't know who the
uncivilized
famous
educate
famous
yourself. Read a fucking book.
Oslo.
You know what? Don't even. Hey, listen. If you're listening to this and you're like, oh, I don't know who that is. If you fucking Google her now, shame on you. Yeah, don't even Google her. You don't deserve to know anything about fucking Miss Anna Elizabeth Westerlund. Right? She's a
famous Oslo clairvoyant.
Yeah, from Oslo. Where's Oslo?
Louisiana.
Yeah, Oslo, Louisiana.
Oslo's in Norway.
Yeah, it's like in their capital.
Yeah, my buddy coaches football there. Coaches the Oslo Vikings. No lie, I swear to God. He was the quarterback when I played for the Okanagan Sun.
So, money.
Hold on. We might not be right because there is also an Oslo, Louisiana. So I don't know.
There are a couple Oslos.
I don't know who's right here.
It's like asking. That's like asking where's Springfield, and then there's like 100 of them.
Yeah.
Or where's Alexandria? There's also 100 of those too.
You think Anna Elizabeth Westerlund is from Norway?
No,
and she's Norwegian. Or does that sound like a
fucking? Root Mary?
That sound like
Root Mary is definitely from Oslo. Right? The lady you talked about earlier?
Listen, Miss Anna Elizabeth Westerlund sounds to me like a Southern belle.
It does, definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
Listen, don't look her up. If you don't know who she is, you don't deserve to know.
From after that, I mean, that's probably peak is like when they had the 1,000 people there on the foretelling of some sort of event happening, which didn't exactly come through because, maybe the stars weren't exactly in alignment. Something happened. Cosmic lines got crossed. Who knows?
Shy. The Hessdalen Lights are shy. You brought too many people.
Yeah. So
Hey, listen,
83 to 80.
and I don't appreciate the subtle jab of the cosmic lines are crossed. Okay, they're just fine. All right, we're making do. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Okay, all right. I don't need these subtle jabs.
83 to 84, the Hessdalen Lights are pretty much very much in the public eye. And then with Arnie Wist publishing an actual book, like his entire book about this. So he kind of makes an entire body of work from the Hessdalen Lights.
How fucking long is this book? How long? This is a pamphlet, my guy. There's not enough information at this point for you to fucking write a book.
He took photos.
Oh, it's picture. Yeah, okay, sorry.
Accounts,
it's a coffee table book. I should have. It's a coffee table.
It's probably got some really nice, landscape photos of the, pristine Hessdalen Valley.
This is where the lights have been seen.
So you,
I took this photo on a cold, dark night in February.
Wist's book comes to the conclusion, or he comes to the conclusion at the end of that book that essentially saying that these things are UFOs from space until proven otherwise. Like that's where he goes. That's where he comes at for that.
I mean, I like that. I like that because he's just putting it out there. He's like, prove it wrong, which to this point no one has.
Do it.
You know what I mean? People they have things. They're like, maybe it's fucking charged crystals in the moonlight, fucking in the ionosphere, creating these fucking phantom lights. You're like, and then the next time, like, I don't think so. Like, there's no consensus. So to this day, I mean, that's number one leading theory in my opinion.
Yeah, and they sent up actual investigation stations for the Hessdalen Lights. So the NVFO continues to collect data alongside with what becomes known as like the Project Hessdalen, which is kind of headed up by Dr. Erling Strand, who's I think he's actually still around. And I think he's done a couple of podcasts and stuff like that.
I listened to one with him.
Yeah. And so he was an engineer from Ostfold University College in Norway and kind of began working on investigations into the possible causes of the Hessdalen Lights. And so he's always kind of he's kind of de facto project leader and designing and implementing an actual automated measurement station. And he kind of lent his expertise to investigating this phenomenon and then developing this project, the Hessdalen project, which has gone through I think 2 iterations of websites at this point. Well, but if you look it up, it's they've got tons of data. Just
isn't there these massive surges of energy whenever these lights show up?
So on their detections, on their websites and the data they've collected, there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff that they're okay, you could look at this. This might be a cause for it. It's still kind of unsolved about exactly what's going on, but it's there's certain activity that kind of happens and they can kind of correlate to saying that this happens or this happens. But yeah, it's again, I would say
they get spikes. They get energy spikes when the lights appear.
And it's again, this is,
and they don't know why. They still don't know why they have this. They don't have a consensus.
Hessdalen too, oddly enough, it's a massive mining town, isn't it?
It was originally Hessdalen was a place where the main, one of the main working things was mining. They did a lot of mining in the area. So yeah, I mean, if you want to, you read about that and you talked about that.
I was
the mining.
No, but I just thinking could it be due to some type of discharges from the mines or so,
So that's one of the possible ideas that's been put forward, that during kind of with the mining that has gone, the mineral extraction and things that go on or have been historically in Hessdalen, around the area of Hessdalen, that is one of the things that there's been kind of energy discharges, which I guess would kind of go along with kind of earthquake lights, I guess, kind of the same thing where it's you have these energies or, energies being released from inside the earth, combined with certain mineral compositions of the crust or whatever, and then they kind of shoot off into some type of energy discharge. Luminous.
And as rare as that could be, like, you know, we have evidence of like other insane natural nuclear reactions happening just through pure happenstance of just like, you're like a 1 in a million shot, like, of all these things combining at the perfect time to do this. So I'm like, I'm not saying like it's not a no, but it's also not proven that that's the case. Because I also read it's like, you know, they're like, you know, it's the minerals and stuff acting, but they don't know. It's still a guess. It's a best guess. They're like, I don't know, but maybe.
Well, also though, like if there's mining, right? Is there a chance that possibly while mining they released
a demon,
ancient evil Norwegian Viking demon?
Take the land, it must be taken.
And that's what they're seeing, just this fucking demon, and it's light, and he's just taunting them.
Yeah, exactly.
The blood of their ancestors. Right? Like, is that what it is? Like, is this an ancient Norwegian hellmouth that they've discovered in a mine, and there's nobody's willing to talk about it?
The hellmouth part is interesting to me too, that you said that, is because like part of me was wondering, like, because I've watched some videos on these lights, and I was like,
where's Buffy?
I was like,
I
was like, maybe
she looks a little Norwegian.
I was like, maybe this is, you know, we talk about portals all the time in different areas.
We do.
Like, maybe these things spark up because it has, you know, it's like an entrance from another dimension to this spot where we catch these lights as something's coming in from another dimension, and that's the location where they come into this, like, to visit Earth. Because we always talk about the hollow Earth and Antarctica and, like, you know, I said, but I'm like, maybe the hollow Earth isn't actually what we think, and it's like a hole in the Earth. Maybe it's like a hole in like our dimensional rift, and the only reaction we see is lights like this.
Because it's just like the aliens dancing with sparklers, and they're like, take picture, quick.
One of the ideas that
write my name.
One of the ideas that's thrown forth is like we said, that the way that these lights act is like, like there's some kind of intelligence about it. So I think one of the ideas that I heard that was thrown forward was that these things are perhaps like they are energy life forms, like they are some type of organism that is just pure energy or something like that. And they just seem to, in this area that is, like I said, these types of unique energy signatures, or kind of the mix of whatever comes out of this, whatever makes this place special, whether it's geological, geographical, whatever. It's conducive to them either being there, like it attracts them or sustains them or something like that, perhaps. Again, this is probably one of the most like legitimately studied phenomenon, like in UFO history. Not even, I want to say UFO history, because it's like they have been observing this, like what we said, Dr. Erling Strand and the Hessdalen Project. They've been studying this thing for like decades. Like they've been collecting data, videos,
trying to hammer out what exactly
was it. And so they have like, you know, constantly increased, you know, advanced their equipment that they've been using, you know, stuff on the IR, stuff on the electromagnetic spectrum, certain different types of cameras. They've been trying everything that they can to kind of figure out what exactly is going on. But they still, to this day, nobody's really sure what's going on. There's a lot of stuff that's been thrown forward, but there's no,
because their budget's probably like $14.
Right? Yeah. And then like they have to spend half of that at Burger King to feed themselves. The interesting thing for me is what fascinated me about this is that it's like there is really, I mean, there's dozens of mysteries out there, but like genuine mysteries where we're like still like looking at it and we're just like maybe this, and we're collecting data and then being like, we don't really have this hammered down, and we're talking about 40 years here of looking at these things. And you know, like when I look at these lights, I think I'm like, you know, you look at the Northern Lights are incredible, and we're like, yeah, we know what the fuck those things are. And then you look at these and everyone's just left scratching their head, right? Looking at this data and being like, well, maybe this. Universities will send like student groups out there to go and like view these things. Like that's how fascinating they are in like, you know, these areas. And one of the best videos ever captured of the Hessdalen Lights was actually in 2007 by a university group that went out there. I'll just play it right now for if you're watching the live stream. If you're not, fucking type in Hessdalen Lights over Norway 2007.
Get on fucking Patreon.
You will find
it's better.
Yeah, get on Patreon.
Get on Patreon. It's better.
You get it from us. You don't have to search anywhere. Just watch it. You
bring it
watch
right
this.
to you. We do the work.
Yeah. And you would have got us all fully naked while we reported this.
Mm-hmm.
So
Gotta
this
break
is the
in that
video right here. I'll play
casting
it. You're gonna hit the lights. Like, if you look at this, like, these are fucking lights popping off. Now, an interesting thing with these ones is, if you've followed us on social media, like, there's seemingly one light that bursts into like 8 different lights, it looks like. We've actually followed a couple UFO reports of lights, like these orange lights that appear into like a triangle formation that disappear, like over like Philadelphia, various places on the West Coast. When Dan was doing like the top 5 UFO sightings of the year or the month, a couple years ago, a lot of these were these orange lights that are strikingly similar to the Hessdalen Lights, in my opinion. So it's just fascinating. Like, if you look at that, just like that burst right there from 1 to 9, it's fascinating to look at. And know that this is still a marvel that we have no idea what it is.
And it doesn't exactly make it easy for them to determine like 100% with 100% accuracy about what it is, because these lights vary, right? Because that's not even like a typical thing of like the Hessdalen Lights, because they're people describe like way different experiences with the thing. So there's like,
sometimes it's just one. It's a big one that turns little and then big and like doesn't move.
It's a ball, it's a line, it's a thing. So it's like, could it be, we talked about the Brown Mountain lights and like other types of lights have been determined to be like, oh, it's a reflection of like car headlights in the fog, or, kind of like inversion, whatever, temperature inversion, any of that kind of stuff, which people like, and some of them like have been proved to like, no, that those are definitely like headlights from the mountain. Like, it just happen to be there and reflect off the, but these ones, it's like, they're not really sure. They're like, it could be that sometimes, and then something the other times. Like, it's, like if it's just the geographical location and just, light does funny things there, it could be that, or it could be some type of UFO phenomenon.
Yeah. I mean, I to be honest, I lean to some of those like the evidence of the night shots where they catch it on a tripod. It looks like a single source moving erratically. It, like Andrew said, it looks like a drone. And we didn't have that technology as far as we know. So
maybe the Norwegians did.
They got their first F-16 in 1974.
Yeah, but they had drones.
79.
They had highly advanced drones. It's just interesting because I lean towards that some of these that are caught are some sort of highly developed craft, whether it be military, of earthly or terrestrial origins, or just something popping in for a visit, right? Because a lot of the descriptions, the ones you read, not necessarily all the video and like photographic evidence, but it's a lot of the ones you read.
Bizarre how routinely they come by. That's
But it's like some of them is like, they're like, it's a bullet through the sky. It passes me, comes close to me. It disappears over the horizon. Like, a lot more of the written accounts of these things give it a more of appearance of, in my mind, when I'm reading it, of it moving.
Maybe there's some type of mineral in those mines that these ETs need, and that's why they keep stopping by so often.
Maybe.
We don't know what it is.
I mean, we've talked about other cases where, like the Carl Higdon, where, maybe they were coming for the rare manzanita bushes that were only found in a certain region, right?
That is just
so maybe
ingrained in your brain. You love those manzanita bushes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great word.
It is.
It's a great word. Manzanita. I love that name. That's a great. I would name, if I had a daughter,
Manzanita.
I would name my daughter Manzanita. It's a fucking beautiful name.
And all the boys at school call her Man-Eater.
Yeah, I don't care. She would. She'd be huge. She'd be built like me. They'd call her that for a reason.
Fucking call her Trunchbull then.
She'd look like a Norwegian.
I don't think you know what Norwegians look like.
I have no idea.
Yeah, they're not
even the
like
slightest
big
clue.
blonde motherfuckers, aren't they? Like,
no, I thought they're
Norwegians.
Norwegians. Just look it up. What do Norwegians look like?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Well, they probably vary, but I feel like you think
The
it's
rare and elusive Norwegians.
Slavic.
Oh no, they're beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I
blondes.
mean. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Like
no,
that's
Yeah. My apologies to all Norwegians. Yeah, just stunning. Like I've looked at.
like you're talking
What
about
if
the
I type in
Clopix
ugly?
from the Burbs, like big ugly motherfuckers.
What if I type in ugly Norwegians? Oh no, they're just as gorgeous. Shit! God damn it! Shit! Dude, I'm like a fucking one in Norway.
Negative.
I apologize
Negatives.
to Norway.
buddy? You're a one across the board. It's fine. It is what it is. I feel you.
No, I'm a fucking 8 here because I got a 16 personality.
I don't know about that. Confidence
Wait, is
16.
Greta-
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is Greta Thunberg Norwegian? No, she's Swedish.
Hmm.
She's Swedish. I mean, she's not bad.
She's a child, so let's not
child.
talk about that.
Not a child.
She's pretty sure she's a child.
No, she's not 100% not a
I
child.
think she's a
She's
child.
21. She's an adult.
Well, I remember when she was a child when she came out and was famous.
Well, I'm not looking at pictures of her as a kid.
Well,
I'm
okay.
looking at a picture of the picture I looked at, Thunberg, 2023. She was 20. She's an adult. I'm saying it's not bad.
To us, that's a
Know
child.
that.
And I'm looking
I'm
at
not
all her
either.
pictures. She looks like a child. Absolutely.
Huh.
Yeah. Fucking looks like a child.
She does look like a child.
But slap it on the board. Hessdalen Lights unsolved. Oh. It's like it's all I can really say about it. There's still
Braden's
it's still
slightly
ongoing.
racist against Norwegian people. Solved.
Also solved.
How can I be? I can't be racist against other white people.
Yes, you can. Different types of white people.
Braden's like, how can I be racist against somebody I've never met? I'm not even sure if they're real.
I don't even know what they look like.
I don't even know if they're
No,
real.
I never met one.
Braden's like, I put them on the cryptid list. Never met one. Never seen one. Right up there with Bigfoot and the Yeti.
I've seen as many Norwegians as I've seen Bigfoot. At least I've seen Bigfoot's footprints.
tracks.
I've never seen a Norwegian person's footprints in the woods.
They're
Which are
probably
just as big.
beautiful.
They're and just as big.
My God, these foot tracks. They're so beautiful. It can only be a Norwegian. You know what that means?
Look down there. It's like, oh, it's a perfect gate.
It's amazing.
Light on the steps.
God. Must be Norwegian.
Yeah. It's fascinating. Check out Hessdalen Lights. It's phenomenal. Look at the videos.
Go to
if you haven't
Norway.
already seen them. Go to Norway. I mean, tourist hotbed of the world,
Yeah.
mecca of tourism. And check. I would love, like,
They
to
got
be honest,
trolls.
I joke around here. I would love to go to Norway and experience this because from the
Damage
accounts, it
control.
sounds phenomenal. So I'd
It's
like
like
that. Hopefully, I
The
could.
people are beautiful.
No one's gonna, no one's gonna give me a lift because I look like Shrek over there when I get
Oh,
there.
they'll just think you're a troll. They'll be like,
Again, you look like Shrek
Yeah.
everywhere.
Ugh.
Trolls are a national treasure over there. You'll be fine.
So it's fascinating. I would love. This is something I would love to see in person and witness for myself. Just because I imagine you would get a way better, read on it of like the level of how incredible this is. It's one thing to talk about it and see videos and hear other people react and read accounts, but like to see it for yourself, then you could truly be like, this is something insane. Like something insane is going on here. So check it out. If you're interested, and let us know what you think of the Hessdalen Lights.
Yeah.
Zell's not here today because he, the fucking
It's got a
water main.
crisis.
So we don't know Patreon supporters, but listen, we're building up a long list of Patreon supporters. Thank you so much for your support. It helps grow the show. As we said in the last live, we're saving up to buy Andrew a green screen. That's what we're working towards.
Is that what we're
he
doing?
can have a green.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can have a green. The joke was so you can have a green screen background of your exact background.
Nice. I'd be into that.
Just flipped.
not bad.
It's just like flipped.
just flipped. Same exact background. We're just sick of looking at that one. We want to rotate.
I
it.
wonder if we could. Can we get a green screen of my exact background? But can we play me working out on the back? Like
Oh yeah, actually we could do
Yes,
it.
100% I could.
We can do that.
So it's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny because I looked at a green screen set. It was $150, and me and Dan raised like $76 towards your green screen. A lot of people are like, yes, but now that people know that it's going to be a green screen for you of you working out in the background, looped,
hilarious.
right?
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. So just be you and like doing all your workouts throughout the entire. Yeah. It's perfect because you could just set your webcam up and film it on OBS, and then I can loop it for an hour.
Done.
Right? This is perfect. That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
so listen, if you want Andrew to get a green screen, we need your help. Patreon.com/Alien Theorists podcast. And listen, you get Cosmic Channels early. You get Popcorn, Andrew's solo show, Daddies and Baddies, which is fucking dope. You get Dungeons and Dragons. You get tons of stuff. We have tons of stuff on Patreon, confidentials, and that's our gift to you for supporting the show. Help us out. Other ways to help the show. You don't want to support monetarily. Go on our socials, share a post, like a post, comment in a post. Even if the comment's like "fuck you," here's my comment. Yeah. Helps us with the algorithms. Just fucking do it. Anything else before we go? Did I forget to plug anything else? No. And as we always say at the end of those things, keep those eyes on the skies.